If you are into time management, productivity, and goal setting, then today's podcast episode is for you. Welcome back to Success with Srini. Today is the day 2 of year 2023. And yesterday on the podcast, I promised that I'll be sharing my success formula with you today. And here I am. And I have my success formula ready for you. If you haven't listened to yesterday's podcast, or if you have not seen yesterday's podcast, then do me a favor, right below this video, it's there if you're watching me on my YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on any of the podcasting apps, then yesterday's podcast episode, which is from January 1st, 2023, should be right below this. So please take a moment, listen to it or watch it. And I think if you see that first or listen to that first, this video is going to make sense. So yesterday I said I'm going to be sharing with you my 90-day success formula. And I made a statement, I kind of made an announcement or a claim that if you cannot accomplish your goals in the first 90 days, then it's very hard. It becomes difficult. And I provided all the different, reasoning behind it. So in the month of November of 2022, I did a podcast. I believe this was right before Thanksgiving. I recorded a podcast and I said, I titled the podcast as 90 to 75 Success Formula. And what I meant was that you should break the entire year into 4 chunks of 90 days. There are 4 quarters, so 90 days each. And only go after just 4 goals in the entire year. That's it, only 4 goals. I'm not saying you should not have multiple goals. Very early on, I said you should be having not only just goals, but big category of goals. You need to have a few of emotional goals, a few financial goals, a few career goals, business goals, physical goals, different categories of goals, all of them to be accomplished in a certain amount of time. You should have those in the back of your mind, but you need to have at least one big goal once a quarter. So 4 big goals in the entire year. That was my message on that podcast. And I shared a formula on the podcast. I want to share it here because this is the first time I'm doing this on video. That was just an audio podcast. So here is how this formula works. The first and the foremost thing is you got to choose one area of your life that you want to completely revolutionize. Not just set goals and just get them done, accomplish them. No, completely revolutionize one area of your life. So when people look at you, they would associate you with that outcome. The second step to this formula is you got to work on that area or that goal for 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks. And the idea behind that is to establish a baseline. So your 90 days, they do not start on 1st of January. That's not how this works. It will start after 3 weeks of you putting the baseline together. So 3 weeks where you'll work to identify 2 things, maybe 4 things. The first is your capabilities. So you block 3 weeks and you work on that goal, that area, without any strategy or without any technique. For example, let's say you want to run a marathon. You block 3 weeks and you start doing something on a daily basis over the next 3 weeks. And all you are doing in these 3 weeks is you are checking your capability and then your consistency. How consistent are you? So if you have to show up in the gym and you have to run a treadmill, are you consistently doing it? As you do this for 3 weeks, you will start discovering that you have some strengths, you do have some weaknesses. You also will discover that you may need help. By help, I mean some education, maybe some information, maybe some tools, maybe some mindset. You need help. And you may need help at capability level, you may need help at your consistency level. But the biggest thing that you want to do is you want to get to a point where you feel that you are able to accomplish whatever in those 3 weeks alone. Just alone. That's the goal. That should be the goal. So these 3 weeks will give you the baseline. You will discover your capabilities. You'll see how consistent you are. And you want to do this all alone. Now, once these 3 weeks are done, then we go into a 3-month timeline. And in these 3 months, we accomplish the marathon goal. Maybe these 3 months for you could be starting a business and growing a business. Maybe these 3 months are for you to sort out your finances, whatever that goal is, whatever that big area is that which you want to revolutionize. I have several goals for 2023. And there is one goal that I talked about yesterday. I said, I'll be sharing with you my fitness goal. And I said, it's not that I'm not fit, but I could be better. And I could really push myself to better my timing and my engagement, my form. I mean, there's so many things I can improve. So earlier in the year, I came up with a formula called Project 23. And the backstory of this is year 2023. So I should be able to do everything with a meter of 23. I was asking my wife, I said, do you know how many countries are there in North America? And she said, 3. I said, 23. If you do not know this, you just heard this. There are 23 countries in North America. We only talk about the top 3, but we really don't talk about other countries. There are 23 of them. I think I went to 7 of them. And I was telling her, we need to at least cover all the 23 countries in the year 2023. So that's how this Project 23 started in my mind. But it was even before that. So one of the goals that I have for myself for this year is to run about 60 miles a week. That's one of my goals. I'll tell you why this happened. Because back in 2019, when I went to Everest, I was talking to some other climbers at the base camp, and each one of them told me that they run 10 miles a day. And I was looking at myself, I said, I can't even run, I didn't even run 3 miles a day. And here I am with some elite climbers who are running 10 miles a day. And some of them running uphill 10 miles a day. And I was thinking, I said, wow, okay, so I'm already defeated. Even before I get to Camp 1, I go through Khumbu Icefall, I'm already defeated. Because there are people who are here with higher preparation than myself. So that is where this goal came from. I got inspired by their standards. So this is a goal that I had for a very long time. I could not accomplish because I was going through some knee problems and hip problems and all kind of problems. But I set that goal for myself for this year. So 3 weeks before, that was starting 1st of December, I implemented my 3-week formula, which is go to the gym, get on the treadmill and run. And one of the goals I set for myself was that I'm going to get on the treadmill and run continuously for 23 minutes without measuring my speed or my calories or the distance. My goal is to get on the treadmill and run for 23 minutes. And in a way, I was building my treadmill discipline or treadmill consistency, which is hard, by the way. It's very difficult to run on a treadmill because it's very easy to press the button and slow it down, or press the stop button or pause button and get off. I mean, people do. It's easy. But if you're running outside, then you cannot. You have to go back to your car or you have to go back to your home. So you have to still cover the entire distance. Treadmill running is hard, even though it's easy in many aspects, but it's hard from a discipline standpoint. So that was my goal, 23 minutes every day I run. And I started accomplishing that from the second or from 16th day onwards. I started accomplishing that. And then I started changing a few things. I said, I'm going to also now burn 200 calories at a minimum while keeping my 23 minutes intact. And then after a couple of days, I said, I'm going to run 2 miles while burning 200 calories while running for 23 minutes. You see, most of the times what people do is once they accomplish their 23 minutes or 30 minutes on the treadmill, whatever that is, they try to run more. They want to go to 1 hour, 1.5 hours. But then that's not how you do it. You still keep that time the same, but you increase other metrics, which is the calories, the distance, the pace, and all that. So these are sub goals within that one goal. 23 minutes stays the same. Now you may ask a question, when do I know to increase my time? Well, the moment you feel that your legs and your lungs are the same, that's when you increase the duration, okay? Or that's when you increase the pace. When your legs and lungs, they are same, and one is not hurting more than the other. So as a unit, as a single unit, from the tip of your head to the tip of your toe, you are functioning as a single unit. That is when you increase pace, that's when you increase the duration and all that. So you bring more metrics into the discussion. Now, I said a little bit earlier, I said people confuse between goals and habits. So one of the goals could be to run a marathon or to climb a mountain or to read books. Let's say you have a goal to read 50 books in this year. That is one of my goals, by the way. That is a goal. But a habit is reading 10 pages a day. You measure the habit, not necessarily the goal. Because if you take any goal and you start condensing the goal in terms of duration, in terms of effort, in terms of unknown, you start condensing that goal, the lowest form of that goal is habit, or the least count of that goal is habit. So every goal at the very bottom, at the starting point, is habit. So if you modify habits, your goals become realities. So if you are introspecting right now and you are thinking about some of your goals in the past years, they did not come true, they did not happen, they did not manifest, then the chances are your habits are incorrect. So if I have to read 50 books, I still have to read 1 book a week. But the habit that I want to have in place is I should be reading at least 10 or 15 or 20 pages a day. That's minimum. But then as I'm putting that habit in, I also want to make sure that I should read 1 book a week. And if I miss out on reading 1 book a week, then I need to really catch up and read the second, 2 books in the next week or 3 books in the following week because I'm falling behind, something like that. The key is to distinguish between a goal and a habit. Habits play a big role. Your habits won't get you to accomplish your goals. You still need to work on the goals. You need to have timelines. You need to, schedule them. You need to work on them, take action on them. But then habits are very, very important. You cannot get there just by setting goals. And I've seen this happen multiple times. You have to prove me wrong. So this is the formula. Now, before you go set any goals, I want to also share with you one more formula quickly. Every time people set goals, they start with resources first. Okay, how much time I have, what tools I need. For example, if I want to run, by default running, let's say, or weight loss. First thing that goes into my mind is, okay, I need to go run. How much time can I run? How much time I have in the day? Should I do in the morning? Should I do in the evening? I have so many things going on. I have to go run. If I run, I'll be sweating. If I'm sweating, I need to take a shower. Complex loops of thoughts. That's where people start. They start in resources. And maybe afterwards they think about resolve. Like, okay, I need to have some mindset and I need to get into a proper state to get it done. That comes later, but it always starts with resources. Within resources, it's about time, it's about energy, okay, mostly, and some tools. But I want to share with you, I want you to start with something else first, which is start with recovery. So recovery means if I have to go run 23 minutes every day in the gym, which I did, and as of today, this morning I went to the gym, by the way, and very interesting what happened at the gym. Check this video. This is from the gym. It's very full. It's full, relatively full, fuller than yesterday. A lot of people today on January 2nd working out. So I ran for about 4.5 miles, roughly 4.5 miles. And I'm able to do that. I did that yesterday. I did that today. I did that because I did my 3 weeks with a recovery plan in place. I planned the recovery first before planning my resources, before planning my time, before planning my engagement. I started with recovery. So what is that recovery? Well, imagine this. If I'm able to, in my mind, as I'm planning my goal, as I'm planning my actions, as I'm planning my time, let's say I want to run 5 miles tomorrow. In my mind, I have to think as if I've already accomplished those 5 miles. If I've already accomplished those 5 miles, what is the state of my body? I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm fatigued. Will I be able to wake up the day after tomorrow and still be able to run 5 miles? Most of the times, no. Because people start and they exert themselves and they're tired and they lack the energy and they're down. And before it takes a few days for them to recover, recovery time is important. That's the point, and you have to plan the recovery. So here is how I did. I assumed that I'm able to run 10 miles a day or 5 miles a day. I'll be doing that anyway. So I started a few things. The first thing I did, I got this specific equipment. This is something that I put on myself for about 30 minutes every time after I'm done running. I also have a bolt that I use on my body, on my legs, so that I can relax my muscles very, very quickly. But this I don't know what do they call this, but this is this is compression, or this is it's a company called Reathlete. There are many products, by the way. The reason why I bought this is because this showed up in my Facebook feed, and I was looking for ways to recover my knees and my ankles and my toes from a run. So it was perfect timing. Showed up on my Facebook newsfeed, and I just bought it. There are so many other products like this, but this is what I'm using, and I use it every day for 30 minutes so that I recover from I can sleep well, I can recover. It's compression, but at the same time this is massage also. So this is my recovery plan, and of course diet and sleep. I plan the recovery very well, and that is how I'm able to engage my resources and get to the outcome. So if you don't plan the recovery, then it's very difficult to accomplish your goals. Now on Everest, I also planned my rescue. That's even one step before that. Rescue, recovery, resources, resolve. Rescue because you don't know the terrain. There are so many unknowns. You need people to support you. And for rescue, for a potential rescue, you have to buy insurance. You have to pay people, the Sherpas, the guides, and everybody. So all that. That's for a different day. But This video went far and long, but I want you to do me a favor. If you think this was of value, then post a comment here and let me know what is your project 23. What are the 23 things that you'll be doing in the year 2023? Or maybe you have a project 10 or maybe a project 5, doesn't matter. Whatever that you have, how are you going to plan your resources? How will you plan your recovery? If it's needed, sometimes it's not needed. But how will you plan your resolve, like the mindset and the state of the mind that you want, the state that into which you want to get to, so that you can engage the resources better. Mindset is very important. So what is how are you going to implement this? I'm curious to know. If you are here this far, you have come this long, you're listening to this on my podcast, or you're watching this on my YouTube channel, do me a favor, write a comment, post your goal, post your recovery resources and all that, and leave a comment on or subscribe or like if you found this valuable. Okay, that's all for now. Wherever you are, be safe, and over the next couple of days I'll be coming back and sharing some more ideas, some more thoughts with you. But I thought this was pretty comprehensive. But this is a video that I did in a hurry and hastily done video. But in my opinion, in my experience, every time I do something hastily, it turns out to be my best outcome. I don't know. Hopefully this is, and you let me know, okay? You let me know. That's all for now. You take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.